Listen, it's quite simple. Press the free like button if you think that Sting is the one to blame on why we never gotten the Undertaker versus Sting in a match. And here's why. If this dude would have jumped ship during the WCW invasion angle, we would have gotten Sting and Taker. But this doofus went to TNA. Just because Rocky Maivia buried Booker T on the microphone. That's why he never went to the WWF. It was because of Rocky Maivia saying, "Who in the blue hell is you?" to Booker T. I'm like, wow, Sting, you are soft. All right, so let's take a look back at the career of Sting. So I'm going to start from my timeline. The first time I found out about Sting was back in 1994. He was actually the first WCW action figure that I bought. But, like, I'm trying to see where people are coming from. Like me, I'm very, very objective. I go by facts over feelings. Fuck your feelings. I care about facts and evidence. Like, I'm hearing all these marks saying, "Man, don't disrespect Sting. He's a legend." I'm like, okay, he might be a legend, but I think he's overrated, more so overhyped. Which one is it? I think he's more so overrated, more so than overhyped. Because, listen, I don't know why Sting gets a hall pass for not caring about fake pro wrestling. When people say, "Oh, this guy don't love the business," they put the Warrior and Goldberg and Brock in that category, but they never put Sting. I'm like, bro, Sting is a lesser tier warrior when it comes to mindset about the business. Sting never cared about fake pro wrestling. Let me repeat, for the people in the back, all the all-elite fake pro wrestling fanboys, Sting is just like Goldberg and the Warrior when it comes to his love for fake pro wrestling. He don't love it. He loves the money. He don't care how he's booked. He don't complain about how he's booked. He just likes the money. But I don't know why Sting gets a hall pass, but Goldberg don't. People always say, "Oh, Goldberg don't love the business. It's all about the money." Well, same thing with Sting, bitch. The only reason Sting kept coming back to TNA was because they were paying him tons of money. This dude had no issue staying home. But Dixie Carter kept paying him, so he kept coming back. So, I always view Sting differently, right? And here's why. I kind of lost a tiny bit of respect for Sting after the closing of WCW. And here's why. He was scared to come to the World Wrestling Federation. Do you know why? Because he felt like Booker T got disrespected by Rocky Maivia. Remember on SmackDown? Rock told Booker, "Hey, who in the blue hell are you?" Sting was very, very offended by that comment, so he said, "No, man, fuck the World Wrestling Federation." Because he felt like, okay, if they did that to Booker, then most likely they would do that to me. So he said no. And he stayed home. Listen, bro, Sting was retired. I hope you know that, right? The moment WCW closed down, Sting retired. Until Jeff Jarrett gave him a fucking phone call to join TNA. That's the story. Jeff Jarrett gave Sting a phone call. He said, "Hey, come down to TNA, a new company." That's why. Sting don't love fake pro wrestling, man. Fuck. I don't like you people, man, who just... It's like, I don't get it, right? People love to bash me about my thoughts about Owen Hart. People always say, "Oh, he's dead. You can't talk bad about Owen Hart. He's not here to defend himself. He's dead. Take it easy on him." Why are you talking shit about dead men? Okay, by that same logic, keep the Ultimate Warrior's name out your fucking mouth. Right? By that logic, keep the Ultimate Warrior's name out your fucking mouth. He's dead. By your logic, he's dead. He can't defend himself. So stop saying the Warrior was trash in the ring. He's dead, right? See, it's about who we like and who we don't like. If we like somebody, oh, don't talk bad about him. He's dead. If we don't like somebody, it's fair game. Don't matter if they're dead or not. Nah, bruh, that's not how that works on my channel. Everybody gets the smoke, alive or dead. I don't care. Because it's fair game, man. Jim Cornette, my God, he always trashes the Warrior. Jim Ross, everybody always talks bad about the Warrior. I'm like, bro, he's dead. Okay, I got that same smoke for Owen Hart then. He's fair game to me. This big-nosed dweeb, he ended the career of Steve Austin and he never apologized. Dan Severn told him backstage, listen, don't do the sit-out tombstone where you fall on your butt. I want you to fall on your knees. Fucking Owen Hart said, nope, I'm still going to do it, and he still did it. That's why Dan Severn was about to fight him backstage. Yes, that angle was a work, but that tombstone was not a work. Dan Severn did not want Owen Hart to sit on his butt. He wanted him to land on his fucking knees. Owen Hart said, no, I'm still doing it. So yes, I can talk shit about Owen Hart. If you talk crap about the Ultimate Warrior, Owen Hart, he's fair game, man. He was not a perfect man. People always say, oh, Owen Hart, he was a king of the ribs. Bruh, that's not good, right? Because I heard stories about his fucking ribs. Those were bad ribs where it got to a point where there were some guys that wanted to fight him off those ribs. So please, stop saying, oh, Owen Hart was a great ribber. Nah, bruh, not every rib is equal. He was doing some fucked up ribs to people. Why? Because he was in a bad state of mind back then. He didn't care. That's why he never apologized to Steve Austin. That's all I'm saying. Or to Dan Severn. Listen, there's tons of people that Owen Hart hurt and he never apologized. But nobody talks about it. Nobody talks about it. It's all about the Ultimate Warrior. He was a bad guy. No, man, fuck you. But that relates to Sting. Sting is very, very similar to the Ultimate Warrior when it comes to his passion about fake pro wrestling. Warrior was all about the money, same as Sting. It's just Sting was better once that bell rang. That's it. But is there any classic Sting matches? That's my point. That's what I mean. He's overrated. His classic matches, they end and they start with Surfer Sting. A lot of people don't bring that up. Most of his classic matches were as the Surfer Sting, not as the Crow Sting. Surfer Sting was when he was having some good matches with fucking Rick Rude, Ric Flair, etc. Those were his fucking glory days. But overall, he's more so of a moment maker, more so than a match maker. After the Crow Sting, he was more so a guy that had great moments, not great matches. Listen, Surfer Sting had great matches, but the Crow Sting had great moments, but shit matches. Let's just keep it real. The Crow Sting was average. Let's be honest. The Crow Sting was average once that bell rang. But overall, here's why I lost a lot of respect for Sting. I blame Kenny Omega. To me, I think Sting was the Kenny Omega of WCW, and here's why. He feared going to the World Wrestling Federation. Listen, for years, Omega always made every excuse in the book not to jump to the World Wrestling Federation. And I feel like, man, you a fucking pussy. That Sting. How come Sting was so scared of Vince McMahon's booking? For over 25 years, this dude was scared to jump ship. So no, Sting, no, fuck you. Don't get mad at Vince for not wanting Taker and you. Let me say it again. Don't get mad at Vince McMahon for him not booking Taker and Sting, because that's Sting's fault. More people need to bring this up. We never got Sting and Taker, but you gotta blame Sting. He stayed in TNA for too long. So no, bitch, don't get mad at Vince for not booking that match. You gotta get mad at yourself. Bro, you got too old once you finally said, you know what, fuck it. I'll jump ship to the World Wrestling Federation. And here's why. Here's why he did it. Because he had nothing left to prove. That's why he finally left for the World Wrestling Federation. He felt like, you know what? I have zero to prove. I have zero to gain. That's why he left. He had nothing left to gain or lose. He didn't care about his fucking booking because he's Sting. Dude, he was fucking 50-something. So he already made his career. So he said, fuck it. Let me just scratch it off my bucket list that I showed up to this company. But back when he was in his prime, a fucking prime Sting had a big ego. There was no way he was going to the WWF because of his ego. But once he got everything out of his system and he felt like, you know what, I have nothing left to prove now. I don't care how they book me. I'm Sting. I'm a fucking made man. I don't care if I lose every match to Seth Rollins. I don't care. That was Sting's mindset after he finally showed up to the WWF. Bro, he is Kenny Omega. That's what he is. I'm like, bro, you spent all of your prime years for other companies. How come you were so scared to go to the WWF? I'm like, nah, man, like, I have to dock Sting points. Is Sting top 10? No. Is he top 15? No. He's a top 5 character of all time. He's a great character. Great character, great gimmick. But, nah, man. You can't crack that top 10 if you never spent your prime years in the World Wrestling Federation. That's the biggest platform. That's the biggest brand. You can't call yourself a top 10, top 5 fake pro wrestler if you spent all of your prime years in TNA, a fucking lesser tier company. I'm like, man, that's wild, man. That Sting spent damn near 10 plus years, man, in TNA. Wasted years, wasted. I'm like, I've lost so much respect for Sting for years and years and years based on his run in TNA. It was a waste of time. It's like, why was he so scared? You can't call yourself an icon and a fucking legend. If I heard that Vince McMahon, he did want to sign him. After WCW closed down, he was trying to sign him, but Sting said no. So, no, man, like, I can't respect that. I can't respect it. But let's talk about his career in TNA. I mean, it was solid, but I felt like Sting, he should have did a better job on putting more people over in that company. But overall, was he the face of that company? No. I felt like it was AJ Styles. He was the real face of that brand. But listen, Sting was all about the money. Just y'all don't bring that up because maybe y'all got some kind of weird love for Sting. But Sting is Goldberg, but as a better wrestler. That's all. That's his mindset. He's all about the money. That's why he came back out of retirement. Because Con Man gave him shitloads of money, man. That's the only reason why he signed to All Elite Fake Pro Wrestling. Because Con Man is a huge mark, gave him tons of money to be the babysitter for fucking Darby Allin. Now, let's talk about Darby Allin. Like, I hate when people say that Sting made Darby look good. Bruh, I made a video saying that I felt like Sting had a failure run in All Elite Wrestling. And here's why. He put nobody over. He was no selling. This dude never got pinned. He made the roster of young guys look weak. So I ask you, what did he do for Darby Allin? Nothing. Fun fact, Darby Allin was the first opponent for CM Punk after 7 years away. But nobody talks about it. You marks forgot. So here is one more fun fact. Darby Allin, his first opponent on pay-per-view was against Cody Rhodes. Where is Cody Rhodes at? That's what I thought. Darby Allin was always mega pushed. Before Sting got there, he was a multi-time TNT champion before Sting got there. He was a pushed guy. Hell, CM Punk chose him to fucking wrestle. That was a big deal. So, what did Sting do for Darby Allin? Nothing. Besides be his fucking daddy. Right? Besides be his fucking manager and his tag team partner. What did he do? Did Darby Allin win any world titles? No. Just because Sting was his tag team partner, that don't mean shit. Alright? That's like saying, oh, Hulk Hogan gave Edge the rub when they were tag team champions. Really? No. Edge was a fucking star before Hogan was his tag team partner. That's how that works. All Sting did was give Darby more shine, but that's about it. He did not elevate Darby Allin. I mean, you guys are crazy to me. Darby Allin was a fucking star before he got there. Cody Rhodes, CM Punk, Chris Jericho. This dude was facing heavy hitters. He was being pushed. Actually, he was the most pushed pillar out of the four. Darby Allin was a champion before MJF and Sammy G and fucking Jungle Boy. Hold on. Let me repeat that. Darby Allin was a champion before Max, Sammy G, and Jack Perry. The four pillars. So yes, Darby Allin was the most pushed guy out of the four before Sting got there. So what did Sting do for him? Nothing. You fucking idiots. Nothing. I don't care how big his name is. I don't care how big Sting's name is. I don't mean shit. He was Celine Dion in Las Vegas. That's how he was used. He was used as nostalgia. That's all. But I have no issue with it. But that's how Sting was used. Now, I don't care if Sting wanted to lose to the Young Bucks. I more so blame Con Man. He used Sting to bury his roster. I don't know why. The fact that Sting was undefeated, that's my point. What was accomplished with Sting going undefeated? And don't tell me, oh, they did it to take a shot at the World Wrestling Federation. Okay, look here, you stupid dumb bitch. Eventually, Sting was going to win a match. But Seth Rollins hurt him. So no, Sting did not retire undefeated on purpose by Vince. No, he got hurt. Bro, Sting had what? Fucking 4 matches, I think? The fuck are we talking about? Sting had fucking 3 or 4 matches in the WWF. So why would Common use that as fuel to give him an undefeated record if he retired via a back injury? Dude, Sting was going to win a match on Raw. Eventually, he was going to win a match in the World Wrestling Federation until Seth hurt him. Until Seth did the dumbass buckle bomb. Sting was going to win a match eventually. Sting was not buried. Sting was forced into retirement. You fucking dumb fucks. Vince didn't say, you know what, Sting, you are not going to win a match, so you might as well retire. No. Sting retired because he was hurt. So, listen, I still think Sting had a better run in the WWF compared to AEW, because at least Sting was putting over talent, but at the same time, Sting was actually being booked really well in storylines with Seth Rollins and Orton. So, that's my fucking point. I think Sting was booked better. But in all Elite Wrestling, it's like it was cringe. This dude was not selling. He was doing crazy ass stunts just to be on the level of Darby Allin. But what was the point of him not getting pinned? I don't get it. You build up a guy that's in his fucking 60s as Goldberg, really. Sting was never in trouble. Darby Allin got the most heat in that tag team. It's like every match, Sting looks so strong and just so invincible. Here's what I mean by his career was a failure in AEW. Okay, you make your roster look weak if this old man goes undefeated for 2 years, right? So you are saying nobody on this roster is good enough to pin Sting? But hold on, that means that your roster sucks and it's not deep. When it came to the NWA, WCW, the WWF, TNA, they had loaded deep rosters. So of course, Sting had to lose, right? By that logic, Sting had to lose, right? TNA had a deep ass roster, so eventually Sting had to lose, right? That's my point of this video. All Elite Wrestling has a weak ass roster. I'm like, dude, nobody was on the level of a Sting to fucking pin him. I'm like, man, the Bucks could have used that rub. Now, I'm hearing that these two dumb fucks, they insisted on losing to fucking Sting. Okay, now we know why Jim Cornette don't like you two dumb fucks. Now we know. You guys are fucking marks. Huge marks. Sting did nothing by that logic for anybody. So, a dude in his 60s just fucking steamrolled the whole roster. That means you got a shit weak roster. Logic says that every day. I'm like, you saying that a fucking Starks or a Haas or a Wardlow couldn't pin Sting? I'm like, I did not watch that match. The Bucks and Sting and Darby, I did not watch. I did not watch the pay-per-view. I saw clips. I was disgusted that Sting won. I was shocked. I'm like, this makes no sense. So you win, and now Darby Allin has to forfeit the tag team titles, and now there's another fucking tournament. That's lazy, that's stupid, that's dumb. You can't keep having tournaments for no reason, knowing that you can't prevent it. I'm like, the Bucks would have gotten so much heat if they would have beaten Sting on his way out. It's like, all I'm saying is this is a shit company filled with fucking marks. You did not want to pin Sting on his way out. You a fucking mark, bro. That's not how that works. That's like saying, what if Ric Flair would have beaten Shawn Michaels? That's my fucking point, bro. That's like saying, I don't know, what if John Cena would have pinned Solo Sikoa? What if John Cena would have beaten Theory? See, you gotta get back. Like, comment is so stupid. He insisted on Sting winning? That's not how that works. Sting was supposed to lose. You gotta elevate somebody. What was the point of making Sting seem like he was fucking the Hulk these past 2 years? And there's no payoff. Somebody could have used that rub, man. That's all I'm saying. Now, I think the best match of Sting's career as the Crow was against AJ Styles in TNA. But it ends there and it stops there. I always felt like Sting was always average once that bell rang. But nobody brings that up. But do I think Sting is a legend? Yes, but he is a overrated legend. Very overrated as fuck. Because, listen, nobody can name me a classic Sting match as the Crow. Fucking outside of AJ Styles. Okay? That's my fucking point. Was he a draw? No. Now, let's go back to his run in WCW during the late 90s. Was he the face of that company? Hell no. He was on his way out. It was Goldberg, fucking DDP, and Booker T. Those guys, they were carrying the company until it ended. Sting was on his way out. If Sting was a fucking big draw, then how come WCW failed in the ratings? If Sting was so good and he was so hyped up, right? People always say, oh, Sting is a fucking legend. Okay, how? So, WCW, it goes out of business, then he goes to TNA. Honestly, I think that Booker T has a better resume than Sting. I think Booker T is a bigger legend than Sting because at least Booker T had the balls to jump to the World Wrestling Federation. At least Goldberg had the balls to jump to the WWF. At least Scott Steiner, Ric Flair, Hulk Hogan, Nash, Hall had the balls to jump to the WWF. But not Sting? No, man. Like I said, I stopped being a hardcore fan of Sting the moment he said no to the WWF. I'm like, bro, you a pussy. You are scared. So, was he ever the face of WCW? No, he was not. It was Booker T and Goldberg. Hell, I think Goldberg has a better legacy than Sting. Because, bro, nobody cares about TNA, man. TNA is nothing more than inflation. That's all. People was barely watching TNA. So what are we talking about here? I don't care how many belts he won. That's not the big leagues. The big leagues is the WWF. Almost like I said, Sting is like Kenny Omega. I can't call Omega a great wrestler or some kind of icon because, nah, man, you never tested your skills on a big stage during your prime. You was too scared. So, no. So, to make a long story short, I think Sting is what? Maybe, I'll give him maybe top 25. Maybe number, I would rank Sting maybe number 20 or maybe number 25. But he ain't top 10. He ain't top 15. Because there's too much baggage there. I feel like he hurt his legacy by saying no to the WWF. Okay, I'm done.